Hi everyone, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a 24-hour reading vlog. The method that I've done in the past, which was only one other time, was the timer method. So I'll set a timer for 24 hours and have the timer running while I'm reading, and then when I'm not reading I'll have it paused, which for me is the best way to do it because I don't think I can stay up for 24 hours for literally anything. This is going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog, and I'm just gonna kind of mood read. I do have a few books that are on my radar, which I'll show you. The first one being House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City #1. So I'll definitely be reading this in the vlog. And then I also thought of reading The 7-Year Slip, which is a romance, and I've been really anticipating this one. And I think I'll definitely have time to start and finish this one during the vlog. Then lastly, I have Iron Flame, which this one is a pretty big book as well. So I don't know if I'll be able to start and finish this one as well as Crescent City, or if I end up starting a different book, I might not get through all of it. But this was kind of the last book on my radar for this video. I'll go ahead and get started with this book though, and I'll give you guys an update when I'm a few hours in. Alright, so for today, I read for a few hours. I have 21.5 hours left. Now I'm on chapter 30 of Crescent City 1, page 303. And before I started this one, I heard a lot of people saying two things about it. First one being that there's a lot of characters, and the second being that the plot was a little bit confusing. So far, I feel like I'm able to follow along okay though. But in terms of what's happening in here, we have our main character, Bryce. She's forced to help investigate these murders that have been happening, which she's pretty reluctant to do because 2 years prior she's had something happen that was very tragic for her. So her trying to investigate these murders is a little bit triggering for her. But regardless of her feelings, it seems like she didn't really have a choice in whether she was helping with this or not. To help solve these murders though, she's paired up with this fallen angel, and his name is Hunt. I don't know if there's a romance going on between them, but I feel like there might be. But even if they don't end up a couple, I have been enjoying reading about the development of their friendship or relationship, whatever it is. And there's also with Bryce and Hunt kind of that forced proximity. They have to work together, and I think he's like living with her now. And then in here we're also following another storyline, which is Bryce's brother. Their stories are pretty connected at this point though, and they're kind of working together as well. I'm like 100 pages off from being 50% through this, but I will say I'm enjoying this, but I feel like I've read so much and I'm still not like halfway through, which I'm not even feeling like the story's slow or anything. It's just a long book and it will take me a while to get through it. I mean, it's probably perfect for this challenge though because I have 24 hours to finish books, so I'll definitely have the time to get through this one. So that's it for my update for now, and tomorrow I'm gonna get back to it and hopefully get a few more hours knocked off tomorrow. Today I read for a few more hours, so now I have about 18.5 hours left. 18 hours, 25 minutes, same thing. And I have about 200 pages left of Crescent City 1, which I think I'll definitely be able to finish tomorrow. So then tomorrow I might start another book. Maybe, we'll see. Also today I got my hair cut. Anyways, you guys probably don't care about that, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about this book. So one thing, I just feel so bad for the main character, Bryce. You can just tell how hard of a time she's having and just how much she's missing and grieving her past life before the accident happened. There's also a good slow burn romance in this, and when I tell you it's slow burn, it's literally like page 600, and I think they kissed like maybe 50 pages ago. I know I mentioned this before, but I would agree with other people in saying that there are a lot of characters, and I do kind of have to think twice when I'm reading about characters that maybe weren't mentioned for a while. Another thing that's pretty important is that Hunt is an assassin and he's also a slave. He really hates being an assassin. I mean, it seems like he hates it at least, because he comes home just so upset, but he really just doesn't have a choice because he's just in control by the guy that owns him. I swear the last 100 pages I just read flew by, which was nice that I kind of picked up because I was feeling at about the 400 mark that, not that it was slow, but I felt like the characters weren't getting any closer to solving this mystery. But now things have kind of turned around and are looking up for them, and I'm really excited to see what the ending is like for this, because I know Sarah J Maas, her endings are just so crazy usually. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing this off tomorrow and then maybe starting a new book, and I'll update you guys my final thoughts then. Sorry if you guys can hear my dishwasher, it's going like crazy right now. But I finished House of Earth and Blood, and I now have 16 hours and a quarter left of this challenge. It was kind of funny because where I left off yesterday, the chapter right after that was like so crazy. There was a big thing that was revealed. There was also a lot of action and fighting and magic, which I really liked about this book, was that just there were so many magical creatures, so many different powers, which I thought was really cool to read about. But I obviously can't say too much without spoiling everything. In terms of the romance though, I feel like at the start and in the middle, throughout most of the book, honestly, I liked the couple together, Bryce and Hunt. I thought they were cute. They were working together to solve this mystery and everything, and they just seemed like they were able to have really good conversations where they were able to get deep with each other and talk about difficult things from their past. But I'm not even sure why, but at the end of this, I just don't know if I'm really rooting for them anymore. Not that I don't want them to be together, but I just have a feeling that maybe in the next books of this series that they won't end up together at the end. In terms of the plot though, with the mystery being solved, thinking it's solved one way and then going another way, there were definitely lots of twists and turns, which I thought was done well. And I'll say overall I did enjoy this book. I will leave my ratings till the end of this video though for all of the books that I read in this 24-hour challenge. And the next book that I want to read, I am now in a romance mood, so I'm going to read The 7-Year Slip, which has been pretty hyped up and I have kind of like high expectations for. There's a little bit of magical realism in this as well, which now that I've been reading quite a bit of fantasy romance, I think that I will like, because just straight romances sometimes they just don't hit as well. So I'm gonna give this one a shot, and I have this cute little magnetic bookmark too that my sister gave to me for Christmas, so I'm going to use that with this book. It's been a few days since I've updated, but I forgot to say about House of Earth and Blood that one of the main themes in here was about how powerful friendship can be and just the importance of friendship, which I really loved. And honestly, since reading it, because I think it's been like 2 days now since I finished this, I feel like I'm liking it more because I'm just thinking back at what happened and the characters and everything. So I might be rating it a bit higher than my initial rating in my head when I finished this. Anyways, aside from that, I've been reading The 7-Year Slip, and I do not know why I was waiting to read this, because I am so obsessed with this book. It's so sweet and so cute. Our main character, Clementine, she inherits her late aunt's apartment, who told her when she was really young that her apartment is magical and sometimes it would slip 7 years into the past. But she was like 8 years old when her aunt first said this, so she was kind of just like, okay, whatever. But now that the apartment's hers, one day she goes in and she sees this guy and she's like, why are you in my apartment? And she realizes that this guy is 7 years in the past, and his name is Iwan. He's an aspiring chef. He cooks for her. He's such a golden retriever when they're in the apartment together. It's so cute. He's definitely more of the laid back type, while she's a book publisher and she's just a little bit more serious, especially because in the present day her aunt passed away just 6 months ago, so she's still kind of grieving and really missing her aunt, and overall is just kind of struggling at the moment. But it's also kind of sad because this apartment, it's not very consistent when it slips back in time. So sometimes she'll go to the apartment and it'll be in the past, but sometimes she'll go to the apartment and it will stay in the present. But she's really been enjoying getting to know Iwan and seeing him in the apartment. So when he's not there, when it's like the present time in the apartment, it's pretty sad because she's like disappointed. The back of this doesn't really go into detail about how she's handling this 7-year slip issue, with Iwin, who she's building a relationship with and is interested in. So I don't really want to spoil it, but so far I'm really liking how they're handling that, because I wasn't exactly sure if both characters were going to be aware of what's going on, but it's turning out to be really good. And just the way that it's connecting the past in the apartment to the present day is so sweet. I'm just really loving this book so far, which is so nice because I don't think I've really liked a romance this much in months. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm on page 227, and I have 13 hours and 43 minutes left of this challenge. So I'm gonna go finish this and then I'll do my final update then. I'm really hoping the third act breakup, if there is one, isn't going to be super annoying and deter me from rating this one really highly, because so far I honestly think that this might be a 5-star read. I just finished reading The 7-Year Slip and I was pleasantly surprised because there wasn't really a third act breakup. It was more so that Clementine kind of had to reevaluate the situation and her feelings and realize that she kind of was in the wrong with some of the things that she said to Iwin. It was so romantic and really serendipitous. Literally everything that happened between her and Iwin from the past 7 years to the present, which was so interesting to read about and learn new little like tidbits of information of different times that they ran into each other. And overall, I would 100% recommend this. I will definitely be rating this highly, but like I said before, I'll leave the ratings till the end. But for my timer, I have 12 hours and 41 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to pick up another book just yet. Today I'm going to the bookstore, which I'm going to film a book shopping vlog of, so that will be up before this video. But I think I'm going to get another romance that I've been anticipating, which when I pick that up and start that book, I will resume my timer. And I'm almost halfway through the 24 hours. Honestly, I gave myself like 2 weeks to do this because I do this challenge over a period of time, because that's what's easiest for me. Like I couldn't even do this, I don't think, in like 2 days, 3 days. But yeah, I gave myself 2 weeks, which I think I'll be able to do. Hopefully maybe like a little bit under 2 weeks, but I'll be sure to update you guys once I get that new book. Hey guys, it's been several days since I've last updated for this 24-hour reading vlog, but I have about 10 hours left. I'm at 9 hours and 55 minutes. This reading vlog's definitely been a little challenging for me just because it's way harder than I thought to be able to read for this amount of time. I've been doing this for I think like 3 weeks now and I'm still not done. Honestly, it's probably my fault because I'm in school still, so I have to go to class and placement, so I don't really have time to be sitting down and reading for large chunks of time, which is okay and I'll get through this. But I've been reading Red String Theory and so far it's okay. I definitely liked Lunar Love better than this one. This is about Rooney and Jack. Rooney is an artist and Jack is what does he do? I think he's an engineer. Rooney is really carefree and spontaneous, and Jack is pretty much the opposite. He likes a plan, he likes to have things in order and everything like that. I did notice that I felt like the writing was a little bit more of like telling you straight up about things rather than showing through character actions that the characters are a certain way. For example, Jack, like I said, he is a planner, he likes being really organized. And I think it was mentioned like 3 times I noticed where Jack's inner monologue was saying, I hate not having a plan, and he also said to Rooney one time, oh, that wasn't part of the plan. And then I forget what the other instance was, but I feel like it was very in your face, like it was just said straight up. But I would prefer if this characteristic was more shown to me and then I could kind of read between the lines and come to the conclusion that yeah, he likes a plan, he kind of has anxiety when he doesn't have a plan, like that. But plot wise, it turns out that Jack's work, they are hiring an artist for this art installation, and of course Rooney has the opportunity to work with him, but she's not aware that it's his work and he's not aware that it's her when he is like picking the artists and stuff, which they've met before 6 months prior. This is actually the trope that I'm not normally a huge fan of, the, I'm gonna say, one day trope where the characters spend a one day together that is just so magical and amazing, and then after that day both characters are just so enthralled with the person and are thinking about them a lot. Normally I don't love that trope, but I feel like in this one I was able to look past it because it was only like 6 months that passed and they were still thinking about each other, versus some other books they're like still thinking about that one day like 10 years later. I feel like that's definitely more unrealistic. There were also some moments where I did feel like I had to suspend my disbelief. I won't get too much into it because I don't want to spoil it, but a few times I was like, I don't think that would be flying in the real world. There's also a little cameo from the characters that were in Lunar Love, which I liked reading that little bit. I thought that was fun. But that's all for now, and I think I'll be able to finish this one pretty soon, and then I can move on to the next book in this video, which I'm thinking will be Iron Flame. It's the next day now, and I just finished Red String Theory. Honestly, this was okay. I felt like it was a little bit insta-lovey, and I just didn't really feel like the relationship development was great. There was also a side plot which didn't really make sense to me. Without spoiling too much, I feel like the character would have been very resentful towards another character for something, especially because of the feelings she had towards what that character did. Sorry, that sounds so confusing probably. Anyways, she really just was not resentful at all. But yeah, again, I don't want to describe too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I didn't love that side plot. I know I said in the previous clip that I was going to read the second Fourth Wing, but I think I'm actually going to read Collide, which is a hockey romance, on my Kindle. I'm currently 21% of the way through this. I just haven't talked about it yet for this video because I thought it would be confusing going between this book and this one. I have 8 hours and 46 minutes left on the timer, so still a decent amount of time. This book though, Collide, it's about Aiden and Summer. Summer is a sports psychology student, and she's doing this project under supervision of a professor who told her that she will be working with the captain of the hockey team, Aiden. And Summer really doesn't want to work with him. She doesn't like hockey, which was talked about a little bit as to why she doesn't like hockey, but they're working together for this project, and Aiden was also kind of forced into this as well by his coach. He wasn't really given an option for doing this project either. So far there's been a little bit of banter. I do like both of the characters. Aiden's okay, but I do like Summer. But yeah, I'll continue this and I'll give you guys an update when I'm further along. Alright guys, so I really haven't read in like a week. Unfortunately, I do have an update for you guys in terms of Collide, and I've actually DNF'd it at about 30%. In my Kindle video that I recently posted, I did say that I was enjoying this book. However, very quickly I realized just how close and similar it was to The Deal by Elle Kennedy. And then I also just wasn't liking the main male character, Aiden. I thought he was just like really clingy and kind of annoying to me. He was literally saying to Summer's face just how she's boring and that her hobbies aren't exciting, which I thought was just like really rude, and if I were Summer, like I wouldn't want anything to do with that guy. So yeah, I DNF'd it. And then also her paper really made no sense to me in terms of like what she was trying to do and what data she was trying to collect with the help of Aiden to like fulfill this project or whatever. So yeah, I'm done with that, but now I think I'm going to start Iron Flame, and I still have 8 hours and 25 minutes, which I feel like I could probably finish this in this amount of time. We'll see though, and I'm really excited for this one because I really loved and enjoyed Fourth Wing, so I have high hopes for this one, and I'm going to get this one started today, and then I'll update you guys really soon. Hi guys, so basically this video has pretty much turned into a January reading vlog because all of these books I've read, I started this at the start of January or like maybe a few days into January, I can't even remember now. And now when I'm filming this part, it's January 31st, so it's been a while and it's taken me so long to do this challenge. I only have 1 hour and 36 minutes left, so I'm super close. I I'm going to give you an update on Iron Flame though. I can't remember if I mentioned this when I started Iron Flame, but this is the second book in a romantasy series. There's 2 books out right now, and I can't really say too much about this one since it's in the middle of the series and I don't want to spoil anything. But the first book is about this school in a fantasy world, and at this school there's kind of different sections that the students can choose to go into. Actually, I can't remember if they choose or not. I'm pretty sure they do. But there's like the healers, so that would be like doctors, nurses. There's the scribes who cover and are in charge of things like history books and lots of literature. And then there's the routers quadrant, which are the people who are in charge of like war things and fights and stuff like that. I think there might be another quadrant as well, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. So far for this book, it's definitely more politics based. In the romance department, there really hasn't been that much going on just because the main characters, Violet and Xaden, they really don't have that much time together, and at the start at least, up until I would say the midpoint, they were only seeing each other like once a week just because of their duties they had to fulfill. But yeah, there's lots of politics talk in this one, which normally I'm like about, but I've honestly really been enjoying this book, and I'm not really sure exactly why so many people were disappointed in this one and saying that it's not as good as Fourth Wing, the first book. Maybe I'll find out at the end. I don't know if it ends really weirdly or something, but so far I'm really enjoying this one, and I could definitely see myself rating it at least 4 stars. Unless it just like goes really downhill at the end. I feel like there's been some found family, which I love reading about in really any series. There are so many characters though. I've been finding it just a little tricky to keep track of everyone. So that's definitely one thing that I've had to kind of think more of for this one. I have, let's see how many pages left I have. I think I have over 200. I'm on page 420. I think there's like 610 in here. Honestly, I thought I was going to be able to finish this with the amount of time I had left, but I don't think I will have time because an hour 36, I feel like I can read not as many pages that I need to finish this. But I might just let you guys know when I finish the 24-hour timer, and then after that continue and finish this, just because I don't want to leave this video off with having this book practically done and then not having my final thoughts, especially because I don't think I'm going to have time to film a January reading wrap up. So yeah, the plan is finish the timer and then let you guys know, and then finish the book and let you guys know my final thoughts, and then I'll rate all the other books that I read in this video. Alright guys, so as you saw, I finished the 24-hour timer, and then I also finished the rest of Fourth Wing. I keep calling this Fourth Wing, it's Iron Flame. I think I had like less than 100 pages to finish it off. It was a little bit slower than I anticipated for the last few hundred pages, and I'm not sure I really was a huge fan of how the romance went and kind of the direction that it went there. And I honestly never really got a great grasp of all the characters. There was just so many to keep track of. I just didn't really pay that much attention, I guess. However, the ending was pleasantly surprising and I thought it was really good. I did not see that coming at all. It was definitely one of those endings that is setting up for another book, and I believe that this series will have 5 books total unless it's been changed. But I think overall I'm going to give this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I believe I gave Fourth Wing 4.5 stars, and I would definitely say I liked Fourth Wing just a little bit better, but this was still pretty good in my opinion. And to go over my ratings for the other books that I read in this video, I read Collide, which I'm not going to be rating because I literally only got like a quarter into that book, so I feel like I shouldn't rate it. But if I was going to predict, I feel like it would probably be in like the 3-star area. And before that I read Red String Theory, and I'm going to give this one 3 stars. I honestly, even just thinking back at it now, I'm like, I don't even remember what happened in that really. I would say it's a good romance, but just nothing special. And before the Red String Theory, I read The 7-Year Slip, and this one I'm giving 5 stars. I read this I think like 2 weeks ago now, and I honestly still think of the characters in that storyline. It was just a great book and a great romance. And then the first book that I read in this video was House of Earth and Blood, which when I first finished that, I was thinking of giving it like a 3.5 stars. But since then, I just thought about it so much and what's going to happen in House of Sky and Breath. So I did end up changing that rating from 3.5 stars to 4 stars. And I'm really looking forward to reading the next book, which I think will be the book that I pick up next. And yeah, overall for this 24-hour reading vlog, I definitely struggle with these challenges because it's just a long time to have to read. And I said in my previous clip, or like one of my previous clips, that it literally took me like the whole month to make this video, which of course is fine. I just wish I had like more time to kind of do it all at once, maybe within like a few days or like a week, so that I can get the video done and ready to post. So yeah, I don't really see myself doing another 24-hour reading challenge for a little while, just because with school and placement I don't really have the time for it. But of course I'll still be doing normal reading vlogs and other book content. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any book recommendations for me, or if you've read any of the books I mentioned in this video, I would love to hear your thoughts in a comment down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more book videos, and I'll see you in a new one coming soon. Bye guys.